Good morning and salam sejahtera. On behalf of the committee, I would like to welcome everyone to our Itel Interactive Innovative Technology-Enabled Learning Launching Ceremony and Blended Learning Substitution PTG Symposium. For your information, this event will be conducted in English for the benefit of all. So we would like to invite everyone to please rise to sing our national anthem Negaraku and state anthem Sabah Tanah Airku. Hello. Distinguished guests, panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen, before we commence our event today, we would like to invite the Honorable Ustad Badrul Hisham Bakar to lead us on the recital of Dua.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم إنا نسألك لسانا رطبا بذكرك وقلبا مفعوما بشكرك وبدنا هينا لينا بطاعتك اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا كاملا ونسألك قلبا خاشعا ونسألك علما نافعا ونسألك يقينا صادقا ونسألك دينا قيما ونسألك العافية من كل بلية ونسألك تمام الغنى عن الناس وهب لنا حقيقة الإيمان بك حتى لا نخاف ولا نرجو غيرك ولا نعبد شيئا سواك واجعل يدك مبسوطة علينا وعلى أهلينا وأولادنا ومن معنا برحمتك ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك يا نعم المجيب. Ya Allah, Engkaulah Tuhan yang menguasai langit dan bumi. Hanya padamu sahaja kami panjatkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Masukkanlah kami ke dalam golongan hamba-Mu yang diridai. Engkau bukakanlah segala pintu kebaikan buat kami semua. Ya Allah ya Rahman, ampunilah segala dosa-dosa kami dan dosa-dosa kedua ibu bapa kami. Anugerahilah kami rahmat kerana sesungguhnya Engkau Maha Pengurnia. Akhirilah umur kami dengan kesudahan yang baik dan janganlah Engkau akhiri umur kami dengan kesudahan yang buruk. Ya Allah ya Rahim, pada hari ini kami berhimpun dan berdoa kerana kami mengetahui bahawa dengan kekuatan doa yang kami lakukan ini akan dapat mengubah segala yang mustahil akan menjadi mustajab. Jadikanlah kerjasama yang ada di kalangan kami sebagai kekuatan kepada kami untuk saling melengkapi segala kekurangan di antara satu dengan yang lain. Justru itu ya Allah, permudahkanlah segala urusan kami. Ilhamkanlah dalam fikiran kami idea-idea yang bernas, kreatif, kritis, positif dan berpandangan jauh. Kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang diberkati, keimanan dan ketakwaan yang mantap. Satukanlah hati-hati kami, eratkanlah ukhuwah di kalangan kami. Padukan tenaga dan usaha kami untuk terus menabur budi kepada agama, anak bangsa dan negara. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadza jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, the Honorable Ustad Badrul Hisham Bakar, for the Doa recitation. The Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, representing the Vice Chancellor, the Honorable Professor Datuk Dr. Kasim Haji Mansur, the Honorable Professor Dr. Fong Sun Fok, Director, Center for E-Learning, University Malaysia Sabah, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Sazali Muhammad Saleh, Chief Librarian, University Malaysia Sabah, the Honorable Dr. Dennis Andrew Lajium, Director, Center for Academic Excellence and Development, and the Honorable Professional Technologies Effendi Hadis, Deputy Director of Department of Information Technology and Communication. Distinguished guests, panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take the opportunity on this moment through this event to express our deepest appreciation for the willingness of the Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International of University Malaysia Sabah, for taking the time to attend to Itel launching ceremony, which is organized by Center for E-Learning, PEP, and co-organized by Center for Academic Excellence and Development, Pusat Pembangunan dan Kecemerlangan Akademik PPKA, the Department of Information Technology and Communication, JTMK. We are also very privileged to have three outstanding panelists for today's symposium: Puan Salmi Jamon, Deputy Director of Center for E-Learning, Mr. Aminuddin bin Ibrahim Lastar, Coordinator of Blended Learning and Training of Center for E-Learning, and Associate Professor, Professional Technologist Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Abdul Hamid from Faculty of Engineering. Please be notified that Itel launching ceremony and PTG symposium can be watched through UMS Live Facebook. Without further ado, we would like to invite the Honorable Professor Dr. Fong Sun Fok, Director of Center for E-Learning, University Malaysia Sabah, to deliver his welcome speech.
Thank you, Puan Eugenia Ida Edward, our MC for today. the Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International, UMS, the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Sajali Muhammad Saleh, our Chief Librarian, UMS, the Honorable Dr. Dennis Andrew Legume, Director, Center for Academic Excellence and Development, UMS, our Mr. Technologies Afendi Hadis, Deputy Director, JTMK, the Honorable Ustaz Badrul Hisham Bakar, distinguished deans from all the faculties, distinguished directors from all the centers and institutes, our distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and Selamat Sejahtera. Very warm welcome everyone to our blended learning substitution symposium called as PTG, Pembelajaran Teradu Gantian, and our Itel launching ceremony. First and foremost, we would like to express our great appreciation to our Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic and International, Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, for making special arrangement and time to represent our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Kasim Haji Mansour. Thank you, Prof. Rasid Mail. My dear respected colleagues, some of you are very lucky today because you are sitting on chairs that have been specially carried from the back and arranged by our Prof. the NCA yesterday afternoon. We have photos to prove it, other evidence. Okay, the deans are lucky ones here. Okay. Thank you. The Blended Learning Substitution Symposium and Itel launching ceremony is jointly organized by the Center for E-Learning, Pusat E-Pembelajaran, PEP, the Center for Academic Excellence and Development, that is Pusat Pembangunan dan Kecemerlangan Akademik, PPKA, the Department of Information Technology and Communication, DTMK. We also express our appreciation to our respected and very experienced panelists or speakers for our symposium, namely, as we mentioned, Puan Sami, our Deputy Director for PEP, Encik Aminuddin bin Ibrahim Lasta from FPP, who is our coordinator for blended learning and training, and our Associate Professor of Technology, Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Abdul Hamid, a very experienced man in blended learning, and he will be speaking on best practices of on immersive blended learning. So at this point, please allow me to start sharing using the PowerPoint slides. Yes. So this is the team PEP. It's just a small team serving 3 campuses and all the students. The e-learning coordinators from all the faculties and institutes and centers, and they are our executive PEP. They execute all our strategic plan and all our strategic action. To them, we say a big thank you. Yeah. Our vision and our mission. So our vision is concerning realizing globalized online learning in UMS, in line to our Malaysian Education Blueprint. And our mission is to cultivate a meaningful and conducive e-learning environment according to the current ecosystem. We have strategic plans and strategic action, and these are made available online, so you can just use the QR code or the link later on, you can check it out. It's available. And all this actually us to fulfill, okay, the strategic, these are the strategic action plan, and there are many of them. In detail, you please visit the website to study. If you have any questions or any clarification, please contact us at any one time. Okay, very briefly, the KPI for blended learning. So since 2015, we have implemented blended learning, and it has been moving up the slope. The blue line represents the KPI under DEPAN, under the Ministry of Higher Education. So you can see that in the beginning, we were below it, and as the years go on, it went up until now for last semester, and the average 97.9%. For this, we'd like to say a big thank you to all the deans, the Timbalan Decan for Academic International, and to all the lecturers. A big, big thank you. Okay. In more details, later on you can examine it yourself, okay, the various faculties, and how we have actually all achieved the excellent 5-star award, and you will be awarded accordingly by our Prof. Rashid Main nanti. This is a remarkable achievement, and due to the many, many efforts, okay, behind so many heroes behind us. Thank you. So we have been practicing this blended learning called the 1732, or also called the supportive blended learning, since 2015-2016 until this semester. And we are moving ahead. We are progressing, we are advancing from quantitative aspect now to quality aspect. So full implementation will take place semester 2, next semester. And it's called the Blended Learning Substitution, atau PTG, Pembelajaran Teradun Gantian, having the formula called 40-40-20. The details, Puan Sami will be sharing to us. We will be governed and regulated by the Garis Panduan Pembelajaran Teradun Gantian that is produced under the Kementerian. We have also have our UMS Garis Panduan that is already being prepared. And today is just a beginning of a series of many workshops and sharing to help us to fulfill the 40-40-20 formula. So we will hold your hand and we will move together, advance together. Okay, and together working with JTNK, okay, with CIO and also technologies Fandi, we have produced a new platform called Itel, okay? And this Itel will bring in all the lecturers and all the students to higher heights of quality education, quality online education. Okay, that will support, you know, the anytime, anywhere, any place learning. Okay, another KPI is our OER, and it is accessible in this particular website. And so far, all our faculties and institutes have supported it, and it is still being supported. At the moment, we have more than 1,031 OERs. So for you to say thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, the OER is supposed to support enhancing academic productivity among our UMS academic staff. So this website is not much visited by our lecturers. So we hope, you know, that this morning we show this again, and the QR code is there, the link is there, so all lecturers can actually come in to submit their OER. We will be going to visit all the faculties to share more concerning how you could submit your OER. It has got to comply to certain standard. Okay, and also some may not realize this, that the OER, if it is Lulus and accepted in our repository, it will be reported to SMPPI and eventually ELMPT for your recognized OER. It has a weightage of 0.25. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a 4 OER that comply to the standard that has been laid out, it is 1.0. It's equivalent to whatever that you may measure. By the way, the OER repository in UMS is again the repository built under JTMK, and we have Commonwealth of Learning coming together to actually optimize it. So our OER is very robust. Whatever that is uploaded here, they are all picked up by Google Search, they are all picked up by Google Scholar. So it increases the visibility of our lecturers and of course UMS. So the other one is KPI for MOOC. And our MOOC for this year, 2022, we have 19 that have actually submitted to want to create and establish their MOOC. Yeah, that's right. We have to say, clap for all these 19, okay, from different faculties. And the others are still coming in. Okay, so they are empty, but they are coming in. Okay, how to apply for MOOC? So again, may all our deans encourage all our lecturers to visit this particular link, and how step by step is all given here. Okay, so the links are all there. And when can you apply to create your own MOOC? Application open to all academics throughout the year. At any one time, they are ready, submit according to the link that is given. Just submit, and we will call them. Okay. So again, dear respective colleagues, I think this is so crucial for our academic staff. The SMPPI is reporting our MOOC, and the ELMPT has got MOOC, Crucius MOOC, labeled there as 1.1 weightage. Wow, what is 1.1? Very heavy. Okay, and all these are gazetted. They are gazetted. So may we encourage, and we are expecting actually 2023 with the year of MOOC, where many more will come in. Okay, equivalent to almost a textbook. So again, we will be visiting all the faculties, okay, the centers and institute, to go into detail of all our KPI and how to actually practically support our academic staff to achieve all of them. By the way, all our visits to all faculties and institute and centers are all recorded, and they are available in, again, the particular website in the QRO. A lot, hundreds of them. Okay, please visit. We have also another one, okay, and this is jointly organized by PEP bersama dengan PPKA, bersama dengan JTMK, and we have this called TEL practices at UMS. So the website again is TELCOP, Technology Enabled Learning Community of Practitioners. And this is the brainchild of our Prof TNCA, Prof Rashid Mail, during the start of the pandemic. Yeah, correct. And we are very happy to say, that many lecturers do click that particular thing to apply, and they just submit. It can be just a 3 minutes sharing, short one. It don't have to be 30 minutes. No, just your practice. Because during the pandemic, there were so many innovative and creative ways to reach out to our students to ensure quality online learning taking place. And you can see a lot of practices over here. So please encourage all to continue to submit, okay? Okay. And whoever that submit, it is being recorded, and they also receive a sigil of appreciation from our Prof TNCA. We have seminars soaring above pandemic, and again, to address the pandemic, and also at this present time, post-pandemic, we are still having series of seminars called Soaring Above Challenges Together. So again, whoever that has certain little practices that have been innovative, you have to share, this is the place, this is the platform. And we are having many of these series coming along the way for this year and next year. Okay. So please remember, all these are to enhance academic productivity of our academic staff. And this is what PEP is here for. It's a service center supporting everyone. Okay. Did I miss out? Okay. These are the publication, and again, they are all available online. Okay. Okay, just go to our PEP website, under publication, you will see all this. And you will notice that, there are, for example, the Smart 3 UMS, step by step is actually there. Eventually, ITEL will also be produced in the beginning of the year. We have also produced publication for students on the use of technology in UMS, and we also work together with Commonwealth of Learning. So even to see what is the status of blended learning in UMS, our practices, our challenges, our opportunities, they are available in also one of the publications produced under Commonwealth of Learning bersama dengan UMS. We also co-work with our partner UNESCO Paris, and we actually came out, UMS took the lead actually to come up with a policy called the National Inclusive OER Policy, which is available in our JPT website. And for our information, this is the first of its kind, according to UNESCO, this is the first of its kind in the world. So congratulations, UMS. And it is used as a benchmark at the moment by UNESCO. Okay, so again, we have a lot of videos. So please visit. There are more than 215 videos, to be exact, 216. Okay. And we have the help desk, and we are ever ready to assist. So the contact is there. Okay. Now there is only Zul at the moment. Before this, we have Nora, who happened to have moved to Kuala Lumpur. So together with PTG, Pembelajaran Teradun Gantian, and supported by our ITEL, our new learning management system, we hope, we aspire. And this aspiration, actually this term comes from Datuk VC. Yesterday when I met him along the corridor, he said, whatever that you do, please ensure, make sure, ada effective quality education for all. Terima kasih. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Fong, Director of Center for E-Learning, University of Malaysia Sabah, for his welcome speech. Distinguished guests, panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen, the most awaited time has finally come. We would like to invite the Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of University of Malaysia Sabah, to deliver his opening speech and launch our latest LMS, ITEL UMS.
Thank you, Madam MC. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Very good morning. I'm a bit speechless after watching the PowerPoint presenting by the Prof. just now. Our Chief Librarian today, Cik Muhammad Sazali, Prof. Fong, the Director of our Pusat E-Pembelajaran, Center of E-Learning, Dr. Dennis Andrew, the Director of our Academic Excellence and Development, the Center of Academic Excellence and Development. Technologies, Mr. Effendi, the Deputy Director of our JTMK, also representing our CIO. Distinguished guests, consists of our Honorable Dean and Director of various faculties and centers. It's also the representative from various departments, FAPI of UMS, and also, of course, the organizing committee who are working very hard to make this event a success. And also, ladies and gentlemen, and I was made to understand that today we are also can be seen online. First of all, let me allow me to mention here the warm regard from our Vice Chancellor, who are not able to make it today because of another official engagement, which is set much earlier. And Before I read the speech prepared by the Office of our Vice Chancellor, is representing our Vice Chancellor, I would like personally to say congratulations to the organizing committee. Consists of our PEP, Center of E-Learning, and also our JTMK, and of course our PPKA. I think without their hardworking and then close cooperation, of course we won't be able to make it a success today, which is a very important event for the university. And even though our PEP, Pusat Pembelajaran Center of E-Learning, is quite small in size, but I think their contribution is very significant. And we can see from the presentation by Prof. Fung just now, the activity, online learning and related activities in the university is becoming more and more important. It is also observable from various activities of the university. I think it's becoming more and more pertinent during our pandemic, which is very vital, was very vital with regard to the delivery system of the university. And I think we can see also the component of the recognition, because management is something about to put the right direction of the university, and not only deciding where we want to move in the future, but also to make sure that the ecosystem is there. And among others, it is very important to make sure that what we measure is what we get. And I think the number representing by Prof. Fung just now with regard to our LNPT is becoming more and more relevant. Even though the earlier on 0.225% and it's becoming 1.1, I do believe that very soon it will become a significant component of our LNPT structure. Because we are pretty sure that if we want the component of e-learning and whatnot to be considered as an important agenda of the university, the management must pay attention on how to put it in our overall evaluation system, in particular our ELNPT and also the career path of the academia in the university. With that remark, let me read the speech on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the university. The mission of University of Malaysia Sabah is to facilitate the intellectual, social, and economic development of our most important stakeholders in the university, which is our esteemed students, by fostering an environment that provides a well-rounded educational experience. That is clearly mentioned in our KRA. We strive to achieve this by leveraging the knowledge and experience of our staff with the latest technological advances in technology-enhanced learning, which is TEL in short. The UMS learning management system, known to our students and staff as SMART UMS V3, the acronym, has proven to be the backbone of our blended learning ecosystem during the pandemic. It has facilitated the interaction between students and lecturers during the extended lockdowns and movements control order, MCO. The existing system has now been upgraded with new features and interactive features in order to expedite learning during the coming years. UMS is proud to announce its launch today and its implementation in the forthcoming academic session. UMS supports the global vision of UNESCO in promoting free and reusable educational content, including teaching and learning material, which is hosted on the UMS Open Educational Resources Repository. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commend the efforts of our Professor Dr. Fung Sun Fook and his team at the Center of E-Learning, Pusat E-Pembelajaran, to promote technology-enabled learning via massive open online course, MOOC, and open educational resources, OER, at UMS by establishing global links with the Commonwealth of Learning, COL, and the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, which we call UNESCO. The Commonwealth of Learning, COL, has provided a continuous to provide TL training, has provided and continues to provide TL training to our academician in UMS. In 2018, for example, UMS and COL signed an agreement that created the framework for a deliberate plan to institutionalize TEL at UMS. COL, Commonwealth of Learning, has assisted UMS with numerous efforts, such as having a TL baseline study, a TL policy, the construction of an OER repository at UMS, assistance with the design and production of MOOCs, TL benchmarking from September 2020 to December 2020, and more. On the TL benchmark 5-point scale, UMS got a 3.85, suggesting that TL at UMS is evolving towards robustness. With that, I would like to invite all the participants here to a big clap to PEP. And I think I would like to mention here that we are very lucky to have a very special veteran here, Prof. Fung, with your contribution, not only recognized at the national level, but also, I think, most recently invited by SIMIO, Southeast Asia Ministry of Education, to guide them to formulate such a relevant policy for online learning. With that, say congratulations, Prof. Fung. In addition, PEP is collaborating closely with UNESCO to develop a national policy for inclusive open education that will expand access to information for individuals based on their learning abilities. I would like to see the academic staff at our university, which is routinely taught by the PEP, interact with TEL and utilize the services they provide. Today, we will hone our knowledge on blended learning situation, substitution, pembelajaran teradun gantian, or in short, we used to call it PTG, in order to fulfill PEP's aim of fostering more creativity by offering a conducive online learning environment for everybody. The PEP committee's mission is to organize and oversee UMS e-learning practices to ensure that they adhere to national and international e-learning standards. Congratulations again to the Center of Academic Excellence and Development, Pusat Pembangunan dan Kecemerlangan Akademik, PPKA, the Department of Information Technology and Communication, or Jabatan Teknologi Maklumat and Komunikasi, JTMK as we used to call it, and the Center of E-Learning, Pusat Pembelajaran, for working together to organize today's event. In addition, there will be a ceremonial unveiling of our newest learning management system, LMS. And in addition to that, PEP has awarded certification to educators for their blended learning efforts for a number of years and continues to do so in this day. UMS aspires to be an innovative university of global standing through globalized online learning to ensure inclusive and high quality education and to promote lifelong learning for everybody. On this special day, we honor and recognize our faculty members who have made exceptional contribution towards achieving this goal. Respectfully, please accept my sincere congratulations for everybody. And I think along the years, we have created quite a number of champions in the university for e-learning. And although most of them consist of youngsters in the university, below 30, below 40, but I think quite a number of them come from a senior group. So some from medical faculty and also other faculties. I think that is a good sign. And also Prof. Fung mentioned about putting the chair on the position today. Actually, it was not the effort, but when I saw him much older than me doing that, and I think I have to do that also to cover the line, of course. Okay, I call upon all the academic and support staff to implement good strategies in PTG to cope with all the teaching and learning at University Malaysia Sabah. These platforms will support you in your striving for global recognition and excellent in teaching and research. And I think I would like to say here also the future direction of the university is very much depending on the e-learning, not only to ensure that delivery is effective, but also to make sure that it is cost efficient. Because I think in the university, I think everybody know that we are facing the situation where we have to grow. And I think the number of the students become bigger and bigger, the number. And also the capacity of the university with regard to space and also the financing also becoming less and less, absolutely and also relatively. Therefore, we have to look for an option where we can make sure that the delivery process can be ongoing, steadily, and also effectively. And also, with that, online learning is very important platform to ensure that future generation will continuously enjoy the delivery process in the university. Otherwise, we won't be able to cope up with the number of students which is keep increasing 5% every year. And also, at the same time, we are facing the limitation in our financing. So this is an option, and I used to remind our PEP that other universities start to venture the market in Sabah, and also by the opening of our Nusantara, the moving of capital city from Jakarta to Kalimantan. And I think this platform is very useful for us to take into account. With that note, thank you very much, and on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University, once again I would like to congratulate the organizing committee and the participant today. And with that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to the Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of University Malaysia Sabah, for his opening speech. Now I would like to invite Professor Dr. Rasid Mail to be on stage to do our launch gimmick, accompanied by Prof. Fong, Dr. Dennis Andrew, and Mr. Muhammad Sazali, and also Professional Technologies, Effendi Hadris.
Established.
Introducing a learning management system, Itel, version 4.0, University Malaysia Sabah. Itel at UMS Interactive, Innovative, Technology-Enabled Learning. The UMS Learning Management System is part of the Digital Learning and Teaching Space Initiative. Itel at UMS was developed with the joint efforts of the Department of Information Technology and Communication, JTMK, and the Center for E-Learning, PEP. Introducing you to our new look. Experience new heights of education. Reach out to the most competent and passionate mentors. great learning experience, categorized activities or resources, make it easy for users to add materials according to learning objectives. We will send you a notification to keep you updated. Addo Editor. Enhanced accessibility for screen readers and keyboard navigation in Moodle's text editor. Itel. Learn remotely from anywhere.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad Sazali, Dr. Dennis, and also professional technologist Effendi Hadis. We would like to invite Professor Fong Sun Fok and Professor Dr. Rasid Mail to stay on stage because we are going to present the Blended Learning 5 Stars Achievement for Academic Session 2021-2022, followed by a photo session. Okay, so we would like to invite the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, FKJ, Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Ismail Saad to come to the stage, and any representative? Yeah. Okay. Professor Dr. Jualang Azlan Abdullah bin Gansau, Dean of Faculty of Science and Natural Resources. Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Hasmadi bin Mamad, Dean of Faculty of Food, Science and Nutrition, FSMP. Professor Dr. Muhammad Safri bin Jeffrey, Dean of Faculty of Medicine and Health Science, FPSK. Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Muhammad Hanafi bin Ahmad Hijazi, Dean of Faculty, Computing and Informatics, FKI. Next, Associate Professor Dr. Asmadi Idris, Dean of Faculty of Social Science and Humanities, FSSK. Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Rahimi Abdul Karim, Dean of Faculty Business, Economics and Accounting, FPEP. Any representative? Next, Professor Dr. Munizam Haji Halek, Dean of Faculty of Psychology and Education, FPP. Professor Dr. Jumat Sulaiman, Director of Preparatory Center for Science and Technology, PPST. Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Siti Raihana Muhammad Saleh, Director of Borneo Marine Research Institute, IPMB. Professor Dr. Lee Ping Chin, Director of Biotechnology Research Institute, IPB. Any representative? IPB? Okay, next. Associate Professor Dr. Fifi Hanisda Saikim, Director of Institute for Tropical Biology and Conservation, IBTP. Next, Professor Dr. Haji Muhammad Dahlan Haji Malek, Dean of Faculty of Islamic Studies, FIS. Dr. Juri Fu, Director of Center for Curriculum and Student Development, PKPP. Associate Professor Dr. Normah Awang Besar, Rafi, Dean of Faculty of Tropical Forestry, FPT. Associate Professor Dr. Geoffrey Harvey Tanakinja, Dean of Labuan, Faculty of International Finance, FCAL. Associate Professor Dr. Zairul Anwar bin Muhammad Dawam, Dean of Academy of Art and Creative Technology, ASTIF. Associate Professor Dr. Azwan bin Awang, Dean of Faculty of Sustainable Agriculture, FPL. Next, Associate Professor Dr. Lai Yuming, Dean of Center for the Promotion of Knowledge and Language, PPIB. Okay, for the next presentation of certificates, these are dedicated to all the e-learning coordinators. So we would like to start with FKJ, Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Abdul Hamid to get the certificate. Dr. Sarima binti Suryansa from FSSA. Dr. Adila binti Muhammad Ramli, FSMP. Dr. Muhammad Firdaus bin Bolong, Muhammad Darwis, FPSK. Dr. Aiman Khalil Ibrahim, FKI. Dr. Ang Kien Hua, FSSK. Dr. Nur Azma bin Ralin, FPEP. Dr. Dayang Noriza Awang Kifli, Zulkifli, FPP. Madam Razima Hanim binti Osman, FPP. Dr. Siti Nur Shafa binti Bakri, PPST. Dr. Nazia binti Abdul Qadar, IPMB. Dr. Wilson Yong Tao Lim, IPB. Dr. Eng Shen Yo, IBTP. Dr. Dayang Hafiza binti Awang Basir, FIS. Dr. Colonius bin Antang, PKPP. Dr. Siti Fatima binti Muhammad Isa, FPT. Mr. Muhammad Hafizi Ahsan, Miskam, FKAL. Mr. Muhammad Shafiq bin Saleh, ASTIF. Madam Dayangku Nur Hajija binti AK Mohidin, FPL. Madam Erna Watika binti Nasir, PPIB. Okay, the last certificates are for those 10 recipients who attended My Digital Educator course for 2 weeks and has completed the task given by KPT. We have FPEP Dr. Andi Tamsang as the recipient. Dr. Saizal Pinjaman from FPEP as well. IPB Dr. Kenneth Francis Rodriguez. FSSK, Madam Salmi Jaman and Dr. Mahadirin. Okay. Dr. Adila Binti Ramli from FSMP. Associate Professor Dr. Muralindran Mariappan. Dr. Chong Wai Heng from FKJ. Any representative from FKJ? FPP, Mr. Aminuddin Ibrahim Lastar. IBTP, Dr. Ng Shen Yao. To appreciate the Honorable Professor Dr. Rasid Mail for his time and valuable contribution, we would like to call upon Prof. Fong Sun Fok to present a token of appreciation to our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Rasid Mail. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a photo session for all the guests for today. And we would like to invite Professor Dr. Rasid Mail to be seated and photographers on stage. Can we have everyone to be in front so we can have the photo session in front? Distinguished guests, presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to an end to our ITEL launching ceremony. We are grateful to everyone for being part of the opening ceremony. This also marks the beginning of our PTG Symposium. Okay. We would like to invite our deans and Professor Dr. Rasid Mail to be behind to have our refreshments. Deputy Director of the E-Learning Center from FSSK. She will present on Introduction to Blended Learning Substitution, PTG.
5 minit. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. Actually, I'm quite happy because there are a small number of us, so it could be very casual for us, and you can ask questions. I hope there's a lot of questions, but if you cannot ask today because you just want to mencerap all the infos, we'll be going to your faculty to explain more to the members of the faculty. So my presentations actually is about the PTG, pembelajaran teradun gantian, or what we call as substitute blended learning, SBL. So there's only 3 agendas for my presentation. So we keep it, people say KISS, keep it sweet and simple, but we can remember all of it. First, I will talk about blended learning and the current changes in IPTA, and then how far we are with other universities. The second one is how to design a SBL, and the third one is SBL simulation based on student learning time. And for your information, I will share this. We will upload this slide in our PEP website for you to download later. Okay, this is the references for SBL that you can download from the internet. The first one is the Garis Panduan Pelaksanaan Pembelajaran Teradun Gantian. It's a general, but actually the whole book is about SBL, PTG. And the second one, the playbook Pengajaran dan Pembelajaran dalam Talian, published early this year. There's only one chapter on PTG, but the whole book is very good for us to learn more on online learning because there's about pentaksiran on activities there. Okay, this is the chronology of PTG. Even though PTG, maybe some of you only heard about it today, but actually the blended learning is already in discussion with the IPT since 2014. And then in 2018, there's a workshop regarding PTG. I was involved in 2 of the workshops. And other universities actually, they're beginning to implement PTG in their university since 2019. But during that time, when UMS was asked whether we are ready or not, my answer to I think in the MIPTA, I said that we just learned about blended learning in 2018, the 1732, and it's too early for us to ask our lecturer to change to. I think the formula during that time is not 40-40-20, it's 5-40-35-20. So we skipped that one. I request permission for UMS to skip that one. So for the past 4 years, 2018, we begin with our blended learning is 25.5 below the KPI of the national level for e-learning. But Alhamdulillah, with the support of penyelaras, e-learning, the TDS and the deans, the faculty, we managed to get more than 70%. I think this year is 100%. So actually, PEP cannot do it alone. It's actually a collaborative effort. So I hope that after this, because changing people are already accustomed with 1732, because we have 100%. And when they learn about SBL, and then the name is Substitute, they thought it was a new one. But actually, it's not a new one. Actually, it's an upgraded version of the 1732, because the 1732 is the counting is more on the quantity of material. One is for the synopsis, 7 is for the materials, 3 is for the activities, and 2 is for the assessment. Actually, for SBL, it is the same thing. It's only that we wouldn't count the cost synopsis anymore. So the heart of SBL is still learning materials, learning activities, and learning assessment. So the 40-40-20 is not 40-40-20 for 100% for the 120 hours credit. Actually, saya bercakap lebih dulu ni. Okay, this is the formula last time. Formula 1732, and then changes to 540-35-20, and we skip that one, so we don't have to think about it. Now we are commencing to 40-40-20, but 40-40-20, the PTG is only for the minimum 30% from the SLT. Because last time, for those who doesn't know, the 13 hours, 1732 equals to 13 hours, is from the jumlah jam bersemuka. So like you have 3 credit hours So jam bersemuka is 42. 42. So 30% of that is 13 hours. But now the changes is we doesn't count based on bersemuka. We count based on the SLT, the 120 credit hours. So it becomes if we have 3 credit hours for courses, if we chose 30%, so 30% of 120 is 36 hours. So the 40-40-20 applies to the 36 hours only. So it's not, we have to change. We still have 70% face-to-face, all the activities, the conventional one. It's only the 30% that we change. So because I think it is blessing in disguise when we have our COVID, because we work online. We know how to teach online. So actually what we do is we just use that experience to make a quality PTG. So how to make it quality, we'll have a training on that. But now I just share to you, for 1732 is still a blended learning, but we call it supportive. And all this while, since 2018, until we get 100%, our blended learning is a supportive one, in which we have face-to-face classes, we have online classes synchronous, and then if we cannot manage to attend the class, we have to replace the class. That is for supportive. But when we choose, we change to substitute, okay, we don't have to attend the class physically, and then we don't have to do the synchronous. So let's say, as a lecturer, we are all busy people, we have conference, or who have, and for this semester, however, macam Monday is a public holiday. So for those who have classes during Monday, you will have 5 classes, you will have 5 or 6 times no classes. But with PTG, you can declare that as a PTG, so you don't have to replace it. But there's a catch there. You have to use the 40-40-20 formula to say that you have delivered the class. So how to achieve the 40-40-20? There will be actually with the help of PPKA. Thank you for Dr. Dennis actually, because we have developed a table 4, the modified version, upgraded version, which count the SBL. So actually, we still need to make few changes, and then thank you to Dr. FSSA, Dr. Darmesa. I will be having a session with the TDA to look into the table 4. So we make things easier for our lecturer, because if we bring this to our lecturer, they will say, apa nih tukar-tukar, balik-balik tukar. Right, you are the one nanti. But the thing is, what we want to sell is PTG is one, we want to make our life easier. We don't have to replace our class. So, but the learning is still there for our lecturers. But for the students also, it's good for them because they don't have to attend the class, and then they can learn anywhere, anytime, and however they want to do it, but within a stipulated time, like for 1 week. Okay, and then now we are going to the substitute. Okay, what is the definition of blended learning? Refers to combination of online and face-to-face learning. The formula is 30% to 79%. The minimum is 30%. So when you reach the minimum 30%, you already achieve. Okay. We just use the general guideline for blended learning is 30 to 79. So, but we give the privilege to the faculty. You are the one who make the decision whether the member of the staff can go up to 50% or 60%. So the JACAF will make the decision for the faculty. So, but the general guideline is you can do your PTG 30 to 79. Okay, so but we will follow the faculty if the faculty, let's say, decide that the member of the faculty only can go for PTG for 50%. So it's okay. It's still between the 30 to 79. Because like, I think in UPM, they're stipulated in the Garis Panduan is only 50%, up to 50%. But we don't want, because this is flexible education, we are giving flexibility to our lecturers, because some of us like to do online. They feel that it's much more effective. So, but some of us prepare to do a face-to-face. So we give the flexibility for the lecturer. So, so the lecturer, the one who should justify for the faculty if we want to go more than 50%. Okay, conducted online, either supporting, we have done this, supporting or replacing, and we are moving to replacing. Okay, face-to-face, and this definition is in the Dasar Pembelajaran Negara 2.0 to 2011. So maybe of you maybe remember this infographic on when we first launched the 1732 as a mantra for us to remember. So PP will come out with another infographic for the 40-40-20. So it will make things easier for people to understand the 40-40-20 formula. 40%, the 40-40-20, 40% is for learning materials, 40% for learning activities, and 20% for learning assessment. And then people ask, how do we transfer it? Because this is in hours. Usually we know 1732 because 1 is the synopsis, 7 is the kuliah materials, and how do we substitute? So based on this, there's a calculation for it. Is that if we chose 30% is 36 hours per 120 hours times 14 weeks. So we will get 4 weeks. So the minimum for you, if you chose 30% for your PTG, you can substitute 4 lecture. So we have 14 weeks. So 4 lecture you can do it PTG. So you don't have to attend class. You don't have to attend class. You can give your videos, and then there's a calculation there. 4 videos, 10 minutes of videos equals to 1 hour of SLT. So usually, if we can give lecture 2 hours, right? But if we can make lecture like 10 minutes, 3 lectures, it's already equal to 3 hours. So actually there's a trick on how to make sure that we will achieve the 14 to 8, but I think we can, because the policy there's no one size fits all, each faculty have different approach. Sometimes there's more lab. I remember the pemakanan TDA called me because if I do this, like macam tidak dapatlah dorang masak-masak secara physical because of the online. So I'd say that it's not stricted, it's not carved in the stone. When it's flexible, you can come to us and we can discuss, because usually before this, we do the same for classes, for courses that you cannot achieve the PTG, you can choose still be in the PTS, the supportive, still blended but PTS. So, but you have to inform to your faculties, and then you have to, through your blended learning penyalaras, you have to inform the PEP. Okay, this is how to see the SLT for 3 credit hours, which is equal to 120 hours. This is the 70-30. So 70-30 includes of lecture, tutorial, lab, self-learning, guided or non-guided assessment. But when you choose SBL, learning material 40% is 14 hours, activities 40% is 14 hours, and learning assessment 20% 8 hours. So 14, 8 is 36 hours. Okay, actually it's simple. Then we will give you this, so you don't have to count yourself. So for if you are 3 credit hours, you chose 30%, so it will be 14, 8. If you chose 40%, 19, 10. You chose 50%, the 24, 12. That is the hours for the activities. Bear in mind, and for total hours of SBL, For SBL, if 30%, you can substitute 4 weeks. For 40%, 5 to 6 weeks, but 50% is 7 weeks. Okay. If you are, because still some of us teach 2 hours, 2 credit hours, so this is the calculation. 30% is 24 hours, as 40% is 32, as 50% is 40. Okay. And then 4 credit hours, 19, 19, 10 for 48 hours. 40%, total hours is 60 hours, and if choose SBL, 50% is 80. So it depends on your courses. I think there is no more one credit hours. Correct me if I'm. Last time when I do the audit, I find some courses 1 credit hours, but I think there is no longer 1 credit hours. So okay, and then okay. Ujung-ujung sudah ini. Okay. That's why we say we want to make things easier. So before we introduce the PTG, people will ask, ini guna SLT. So where do we show the hours? We cannot show in Itel in Mat 3, right? So actually, thanks to PKPKA, the new table 4, there's a SLT summary there. You can manage to achieve that 14, 8 lah for 3 credit hours. So you can download this actually from the PKPKA website, bukan website kan? Bitly, I think in PKPKA Telegram, there's a link there for this. This is the latest one in October 2022. Okay. And then actually, I really like to use this template because you only have to fill in the form, the TNL assessment automatically. Then you will get the SLT summary, the cap, and the table 4. Table 4 tidak payah siap apa lagi, finish already. Dia siap terus. So it's good actually. I'm promoting this one, Dr. Azlan, Amir. Because this is good for the PTG counting. This is good. So in UMS, we cannot work in silo. We have to work together to collaborate. So this is related to our academic. So we have to work together with PPKA to make sure that kita tidak kerja 2 kali. PEP buat gini, PPKA buat gini. So it makes things easier for us. I think that's all. All the penyelaras have my number. You can simply WhatsApp me. But for the TDS, I will be having a session with all the TDS on the 5th of January. Our letter will be following. So with that, thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Madam Salmi Jamon. Okay, we would like to invite our next second panelist, Mr. Aminuddin bin Ibrahim Lastar, Coordinator of Blended Learning and Training from Faculty of Psychology and Education. He will present on Introduction to Itel and Implementation.
Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam Moderator, for introducing me. My name, Blended Learning and Training Coordinator for PEP, and I'm also a lecturer from FPP. I have to mention the last one about my TDA is here. Right, so this morning I will introduce Itel and the implementation of Itel. Basically, it's not something that I will go very deep because we are going to visit you in your faculty and your centers and also your wherever that you are. So, you have to book it very fast because right now we have 2 faculties already booked for January. Right, so what I am going to introduce you about Itel, just a brief one, because more time will be given to Dr. Kamaluddin. He requested more time. So this is very fast. Right, so basically this is Itel interface, our new one. Once you log in, you will get this interface. Welcome to Itel at UMS. It is much better than what we are using right now. Since 2015, we've been using Smart UMS, and then followed by Smart 2 UMS. And then now we are using Smart version 3 UMS. And next semester, we are moving towards what is called Itel at UMS. So, Itel at UMS is much, much, much better in so many ways compared to what we are using right now. That I can guarantee you. In the term of attractiveness, in the term of robustness, the term of interactive and all sorts of things that you can think of, it's so much better than what we are using in Smart version 3. Okay? So that is why we are welcoming you to merge into Itel at UMS. Right. In Itel at UMS, we have this philosophy. Learn remotely from anywhere. We can learn from anywhere. Basically, this is what we want to achieve. You can be anywhere. Our student can be anywhere. Especially us. We can be anywhere, but our class is still on. That is one most important thing. We can be in Penang, we can be in Canada, we can be in Australia, but our class is still on. That is one reason why we have to have this. We have to move to Itel. And secondly, experience new heights of education. This is the most important thing about Itel. We want students to experience new way of learning. We want all lecturers to experience new way of teaching. If all this while, some of us are using our LMS, Learning Management System, Smart UMS version 3, as a dumb site. Okay, so we upload all our notes. We upload just for 1732. We put all our notes. I have checked some of the LMS that has input with 300 overs inputs. When I went through, what are these 300 over inputs? They are notes and notes and notes and notes and notes and notes. PDF, 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 that's all. Of course, there are some assessments and few activities just to comply 1732. The reason here is why that we have to do that. Why that we have to dump all our notes in our LMS. Our LMS supposed to be used to teach our students. They should be using Itel for learning. That is why one of the research survey that I have conducted, the question would be, the question was, how do you find your LMS interesting or not interesting? I got 85% said not interesting. And the next question, why is it not interesting? Boring, the highest. Why is it boring? We do not know what to do. We do not know which one to read. There are so many notes there. We do not know which one to read. That is why I use the word dump our notes inside the LMS, which is not the purpose of we, PEP, introduce Smart UMS from the first one until the version 3. Right, since we are moving towards experience new heights of education in Itel, there are ways of looking at it. We could use this Itel while teaching. Instead of we using our PowerPoint, the same way that we've been brought up 20, 25 years ago in the university, and we're still using that one now in our lecture. PowerPoint slides. Right, we have forgotten that our students, they are in the digital world, and we were not. That is why we are stuck in the not in the digital world. But we have forgotten that we have to move on into the digital world because we have to compete with them. That is why we need to use this one. Right, so when you log in, of course you have to register your course, and then you just log in as usual. So you will, this one, don't forget, remember username, because I always forgot who the user are. Or sometimes I have to go here, lost my password. Right. So once it's done, so this is what you will see. All right, so it's so much nicer, it's so much prettier, it's so much friendlier, it's so much. All right? Right. If we look at here, you can change the language. Okay? If you think your student were, which is quite impossible, don't understand English at all, you can use BM here. All right? So the flag, Malaysian flag will appear there. Right? And then your picture will be at the end there. So here we have profile, grades, calendar, private files, reports, preference, and logout. And we have all this here in your dashboard. The messages. If you are using Itel as the mean of communication and for the 14 weeks, instead of using WhatsApp, Telegram, and everything, you can use this one. Because you can install this one in your phone. This one's another app that you can use. Of course, you can update your profile here. It's best to have your profile updated and your preference settings for your layout. Okay? And grade, of course, you can move all your grades that you conducted using this one into the grade parts there. Okay, so basically we have also calendar. Calendar here, if you scroll down, you will see the calendar. This is like yesterday, Google Calendar lah. Yeah? So everything is there. If you are, this is phone, or if you have, let's say, plan something with your student, you can all just put it inside there. So all students can see the same thing as what you are seeing. Okay, next we move to courses. So home just now, dashboard here, and then we move to courses. If you have registered your course, once you click on the course, my courses, definitely it will appear your course. So in this case, this is the only course that I have this semester, Children in Flower Family. So this is basically what will appear in your computer, and there is a blue box here. Okay, this blue box, when you hover your cursor on this blue box, the word view will come out. Okay, so you just click on that on here, and it will take you to your the content page. So this is where everything is developed for you. Okay, so I would like to share a few things here, 2 things this morning. And of course, before everything, we have to turn the editing on. This is so much clearer compared to Smart UMS 3 because it's here. Okay, last time, if I'm not mistaken, I mean now, not last time, it's somewhere up here, if I'm not mistaken. It's a blue color, a green in color, but now it's gray, and it's so clear. And we have this ribbon here. You can see the course that you are on right now, the settings that you can change, the participants that you can check who are your students. Have they enrolled or have they not enrolled? Or is there any aliens in your class? So you can check here. And of course the grade and the reports and more. We will go more later on. Okay, so as you have turned the editing on, let's say what you will get in the page. This is basically how it looks like compared to the existing Smart UMS 3. This is a little bit different because you have it here, the box here, add an activity or resources. So you just click there and voila, this is come out. It's so much interesting compared to the existing Smart UMS version 3. Why I'm saying interesting, you can identify here. Everything is here. They are color-coded. This color-coded is very important because it helps you to identify all the blues content. You have to achieve 1732, right? So all the blues are content. All the red quiz, workshop, and assignment falls under your e-assessment. So it's easy for you to identify that. Okay, and the activity would be the green, chat, choice, survey, and also the orange color. All right, so one is missing there. One is missing. Thank you, doctor. Synopsis is missing because we are not using that one anymore. Okay, but you still need to put your synopsis in the your LMS lah. Yeah, meaning to say you can use either file or label. I like to use label so much. Right. So if you use 7 labels, so you have 7 content already. Okay, so I'm using a lot of label in my LMS. Right. I would like to give you one example here that I'm using in my LMS. I'm using my assessment rubric in the LMS. This is very interactive, and I have the digital link here where they can go to the LMS. But I'm using one thing that is important that I'm using generally. This is a different platform that I am working on. And all my slides, all my classes, I am using generally in my class, which I am somehow encourage everyone to move from a simple slide into something more interesting like journaling. Okay, so how does this thing could appear in our Intel? So of course, we have to work this in Genially. Okay, we have to install Genially lah. It's free. There are lots of templates, and you can also pay for the templates in Genially. But the free templates are interesting enough for you to choose and use from. Okay, so once this is let's say you are working on this rubrics poster in Genially platform, and once it's completed, you have to. Okay, this is the Genially at the back there that I've been working on. So once you have completed that, you just click share and insert and copy this one in frame, not script. Okay, in frame. Then, of course, we have to go back here, label, and this one will appear. And click on this one and paste it there, the link that you have copied from the Genially just now. So you will get this one. Okay, so what can you find this one? For example, it is easier for the student to just go, it's a little bit interesting compared to then there's a piece of paper that they just read. And that makes it very boring, black and white. This is my course size rubric, and this is interactive, and it's back here. Okay, so that is how we need to do. And the same goes to the digital portfolio and oral presentation as well. Right, so now we move on to, just give me about, bear with me for about 5 to 7 minutes more. The next step, which is on more here. There are more here. And the feature, this feature is very interesting. I think it's very interesting. If we are questioning ourselves, how are we going to get our student engage or participate in Itel? Are they just going in and read the note, download the note, and copy it down and paste it somewhere else, or download it and transfer it into their file? No, we need them to work in Itel. We are using Itel almost 14 weeks. Although we have 30%, but it's not wrong to use until 14 weeks. Okay, we go to more. We have badges there. This badges application is also exists in the current Smart UMS 3, but it's not been widely explored. Right, so for the ITEL, I would suggest maybe we can move on this one. We use badges. This is something like token given to the student on the activity that they are doing, okay? Some of the students like to collect buttons. For those who are in Scouts, Brownies, Pandu Putri, Girl Guides, so all our life in school during those times is just to collect badges. Just badges. And when there's no badges, we started to collect buttons. So now, they can still collect badges in the LMS. And these badges will appear in their LMS page account of the course. Right. Click on just. I'll just give some example here. I'm not going very detail. We will show you how that you do these badges when we're visiting you. Right. So for example here, all you have to do is just add new badges here. I already have two here. Awarded these two badges. One is for topic 6 top contributor and topic 4 top contributor. So meaning to say these are for the student to collect. Okay? And we know how many of them have collected the buttons, the badge. For example, for topic 4, I have 16 recipients. For topic 6, I have 28 recipients. Because here it's a little bit tougher to get the badge compared to this one. It's a bit lenient. When I saw this part, why there are not many of them collecting the badge, I started to look at my requirement, my criteria that I put in. So it's a little bit tougher for them to do that. So I make it a little bit more lenient for the second activity on topic 6. That is why I get more people, students, receiving their badge. So that is how it works and how the tricks are. Right, so if we are looking at number 28, these we know who they are. Recipient 28, students here, the number. And let's say we look at this student, Kunti Indrawati Kartini Latifah Trikunti, my e-mobility student from Indonesia. We can view the badge that she has collected. This is appeared in her LMS. So it's something probably feel proud of it, collecting like maybe 10 or 20 badges, how many badges that you are offering to them. Okay, so these are two aspects that I would like to, that I just shared with you this morning, and more will come when we are visiting you. Book your appointment with us so that we can visit you as soon as possible before the second semester starts. That's the most important thing. And to sum up everything, I like this Walt Disney course. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we are curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. With that, I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aminuddin bin Ibrahim Lastar. Okay, I would like to give a few moments to the next and the last panelist before we have him. we would like to invite the last panelist for today, Associate Professor Technologist, Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Abdul Hamid from Faculty of Engineering. He will present on best practices in immersive blended learning.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Eugenia. Kejap ah. Tadi saya suruh dia mau menyanyi tadi, bagi satu lagu, tapi dia nak mau nyanyi. Sambil-sambil kita rehat. Okay, just now we have some briefing on the PTG by Madam Salmi. Okay, ini kira macam polis lah. Okay, talk about the rules, the regulation on the PTG, and then we have Mr. Amin, more on the technical on the Itel. Okay, so now is our last part for this symposium. Okay, which that I'd like to share all of you about the implementation from the practitioner point of view, because all of us basically will practice this. So is it possible? Ada masalah kah kalau kita mau buat? Okay, tapi di belakang tu ada masalah. Boleh ke tidak belakang tu? Saya mau tunjuk ada satu. Basically yang banyak saya mau tunjuk, tapi ya, basically technical. Okay, Amin punya pasal ini. Tak ada. Okay, go for the Facebook first. Just want to show you. Okay, the sharing, my sharing on this symposium. Okay, kalau tengok tajuk tu, by the way, just now Encik Amin has mentioned that in Itel we can change the language. And in this symposium, I would like to change the language also. Allow me to use bahasa campur-campur. Boleh, Prof? Alright, thank you very much. Especially kalau kita pakai slang Sabah, lagi senang kan? Alright, so what is basically our way forward? What next? What is the purpose of us having this kind of symposium? Kenapa kita mau fikir, mau bikin teknologi? Tidak bolehkah pakai tradisional? What's wrong with that? Okay, so that way forward flow for flexible online learning. That is basically our main objective. PEP was developed basically for this online learning. Now, I add that another adjective there, flexible. Flexible online learning. Okay, our main target is go to that, ODL. Hopefully that we have several programs in UMS that basically will be conducted through ODL in future. But now we don't have. Amir, tiada kan langsung kan? Tiada langsung. Okay, so I will share with you, okay, based on my experience, how that we can go there with the help of technology, the Itel, with the rules and regulation of PTG that has been described by Puan Salmi tadi, which is based on the Depan 2.0. Okay, hopefully we don't want have another 3.0 for Depan. Okay, lalas kita ke belakang nanti. Okay, alright. So when we are talking about PTG, okay, yang satu dia apa, Puan Salmi? PTS. Bukan? PTS kan? Okay, PTS. What basically happened there in the PTS or supplemental blended learning? Okay, pembelajaran teradun supplement ataupun sokongan. In this blended learning, there is no changes, there is no reduction in SLT. Kalau SLT kita 120 lah, we need to conduct. Either it is face-to-face, either it is using a certain technology whatsoever that you want, feel comfortable with, 120 is a compulsory. Okay, doesn't matter, you are a senior lecturer, associate professor, administrator, professor with administrator, if use blended learning supplemental blended learning, 120 is compulsory. But with PTG, itu ada keistimewaan. Okay, the SLT basically we can reduce. Kita boleh tolak, kita nak mau mengajar pun it's okay. So for those who are very busy, admin, which is have a lot of meeting every day, satu hari sampai 3, 4, 5 kali meeting, sampai pukul 7 baru balik. Okay, belum lagi jam. Okay, belum lagi stuck dalam jam tu. So, take this advantage of PTG because we can reduce our SLT, meaning our face-to-face SLT we can reduce and we change it into online mode. As what has been briefly discussed by Mr. Amin tadi. Use the technology. Tiada lain yang kita boleh pakai, teknologi sahaja. And it's quite simple. I can show you certain example of that. Kalau sempat lah. Okay? And that is basically that we want to go. So from the supplemental, no reduction in SLT, 120 lah. Kau merangkak lah mau kasih habis. Okay, now we go to the PTG. So there is a certain flexibility there. We can change or we can reduce the SLT. For example, kalau 30%, PTG is about berapa? Aku tengok tadi. Samir dia rajin tu salin nota tu. Berapa Mir? Berapa jam online? 36 jam kita boleh tukar kepada online. Kita tak payah datang face to face kelas pun tidak masalah. Yeah. So it's basically advantage for us. Tetapi adakah semudah itu? Jeng. That's going to be my sharing today. Is it possible for us to implement this or not? Okay, pergi kepada slide saya. Terima kasih. Apa hal kalau siapa yang friend dengan saya Facebook, memang saya akan selalu share lah apa aktiviti saya di sini di UMS. Alright, the very basic thing. Di FKJ we have this kind of tip, engineering tip. Kalau saya rajin, saya bagilah setiap minggu. Kalau saya malas, mungkin sebulan sekali saja. Okay? Itu belum datang lagi PMS. Okay, tiada dulu. Alright, so this is very simple how that we conduct or how that we implement 1 hour online active learning. Okay, 1 hour online active learning. So that we use what we call it bookend approach. Okay, saya lupa siapa dia punya ni. Yang person who's responsible for introducing this. Okay, but it's quite simple. The idea here is, doesn't matter either this is online ke ataupun it's a face-to-face. Okay, whatever it is, we need to make sure that our class is active. Okay, rasanya selain daripada sharing, a few sharing itu hari, so this basically the longest lecture that I have conducted. Selama ni saya nak bagi lecture pun. Okay, but the most important is the class should be active. So what is the basic meaning of the active learning? Okay, make your lecture active. Kalau saya satu orang saja bercakap depan ni, that is traditional, that is lecture. No response at all from the student, that is not active. So at least you have one simple activity that have a response from student. Just make it a very simple. Ask them a question. Just ask them a 1 minute reflective or reflection, for example. Okay, but this one having a structured, we call it structured active learning. First, seperti biasa, sama ada kita mau guna LMS ke ataupun mau pakai Itel ke, what they call it, that's categorized under LMS. So usually we will start the first 5 minutes with attendance. Okay, we already have the OBE, very nice system. Okay, just use give the link to student dalam WhatsApp ke whatsoever, you put paste it dalam Smart D3 pun tiada masalah. Give them 5 minutes only. Open it, kalau pukul 8, open from 8 until 8:05. 5 minit saja open untuk attendance. Okay? Lepas tu pandai-pandailah siapa suruh lambat. Okay, macam kelas juga lah kita sekolah dulu kan, lambat cikgu sudah kunci pintu. Nangis-nangis awak ketuk pintu, kalau kena buka baguslah, kalau tidak disering-sering lah kau belajar. So the same thing also for this online. Make sure that you set the rules. Don't open it kalau 1 jam, 2 jam lah kau buka attendance. Jangan. Siapa lambat, then ask them to see you personally. And dalam time tu lah kamu mau tanya lah, kenapa kau lambat slide in. Okay, slide in. Dalam kelas kau cakap lah, siapa yang tidak slide tolak markah. Padahal kau dia tolak pun. Okay, it's just for them to at the end, that discipline lah. Kalau attendance 5 minit, 5 minit lah. Okay, that's one. Pura attendance. Then you start with the advanced organizing. Kalau cikgu-cikgu adalah, apa nama dia? Lupa sudah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Tapi nanti ingat balik tu, boleh lah. Okay, you start with very simple activity, 5 minutes, reflecting what you have conducted in your previous classes. Betul. Induction set. Itu kalau cikgu-cikgu lah dalam RPH. Tapi kita ni more than cikgu-cikgu kan. So we call it advanced organizing. A very simple 5 minutes, ask a few students, can you reflect what we have done in our previous class last week? 5 minutes. Mungkin 2-3 orang sempat. Okay. Cukup. That's why we want to have this, because we want them to recall what they have learned previously. Okay. One of the engaging criteria ataupun activity is we need to connect the present ataupun the current knowledge that we want to transfer to them with their prior one. The connection should be there. So this is the way how that we connect with them. Then you have a lecture. Jangan lebih-lebih. Jangan terlalu rajin mau bagi lecture. 2 jam, 3 jam, non-stop. Gila kau. Penat oh. Okay, penat. So, make it a very chunk, small chunk, potong-potong. Kalau 1 jam tu kasih potong lah pergi 15 minit, ataupun 12 minit, 10 minit, enough. Aku ni penat juga bercakap depan ni. Kalau 10 minit, 12 minit. Apalagi kalau kau bagi lecture 2 jam, 3 jam. Wow. So divide it into several chunks, small chunks. What we call it micro teaching or micro learning. Divide it into several, okay, several small parts. Okay. Why? Because the knowledge ataupun the cognitive load for our student cannot stand more than 12 minutes. Lebih tu, bye-bye lah. Memang mengantuk, angguk terkukur. Okay? Jadi janganlah kita terlalu rajin. Mau bagi lecture sampai mau 15 minit. 10 minit cukup. Stop. Give them time to do another activity in 5 minutes. Okay? Very simple. Okay. With your partner, please do a 1 page or 1 sentence of summarization what we have learned or what we have lecture just now. 5 minit cukup. Suruh dia dapat hantar pun dapat. At least they do some activity and they recall back what we have done in that 10, 15 minute lecture. Okay? At least there is an activity. All right? Then you continue with the second part of your lecture, second part, third part, whatever. But at least in between your lecture, there are certain activities. Thus, we call it active. Okay? Active. Ini kalau face-to-face online, that you need to use several of these apps. Bukan semua kena pakai. Based on your comfortable with, your very selalu pakai. Jangan ikut orang. Okay, Profung pakai Padlet. Aku mau pakai Padlet je sebab Profung pakai. No. Dia comfortable. Are you comfortable with that? Kalau no, jangan. Use the one which is basically that you are used to use it. Jangan ikut-ikut orang. Because this is your class. You're the one who design, you're the one who make your class fun and whatsoever. It's up to you. Okay. Then you have a certain closure. 5 minit juga. Ini untuk 1 jam Kalau 2 jam tu pandailah kau kasih extend. Okay? Besar sudah kan? Okay, 5 minutes. Very simple. Selalu kalau di cikgu-cikgu sekolah dia guna traffic light. Tahu kan traffic light kan? Merah, kuning, hijau, that is traffic light. Merah anda faham, hijau faham, kuning anda payahlah. You can use the simple activity. Use the sticky note, the color, the red one and also the green one. Ask your student tampal di pintu kalau dia mau keluar. Kalau di pintu tu banyak tampal merah, faham-fahamlah apa maksudnya. That is one way of reflection. Very simple activity that basically you get direct response from your student. Kenapa dorang dah faham sebab banyak tampal merah. Then that is, you start with your Muna Sabah. You reflect back what basically they have done. Why dorang dah faham-faham? Okay, very simple activity. 5 minutes. Of course, adalah cara yang paling, kalau online tu adalah you can use a Kahoot, you can use a Mentimeter whatsoever. A very simple, just a one click activity that's showing that they understand or not. It's a logic, yes or no, that's all. Okay, panjang juga ni. Okay, next. Thank you. All right, this is very important, guys. I'm not against the technology, but please, the most important is pedagogy, not technology. Focus on pedagogy. Tapi kalau you mesti ni pedagogy ni boleh pakai, ini untuk budak-budak ini. Okay, use the heutagogy, which is andragogy, which is the adult learning. Pedagogy is a child learning. Budak sekolah sesuai lah, tadika sesuai lah. But university we use andragogy, adult learning. Boleh baca lah tu? Okay, boleh baca? Nampak kan? Nampak. Kalau tak pun nanti bolehlah nanti download. Okay, for me this is very important. Not technology that basically engage our class, is pedagogy. Okay, how that we use the learning theory in our class. Is it is using technology or not? That's up to you. But usually technology will help us to improve ataupun to get student engage with us. Suppose, tapi kalau dengan adanya teknologi ini, jadi kita kelas lagi bosan, lagi bikin orang angguk-angguk terkukur, then forget it. Better kau bagi lecture macam biasa saja. Okay? Alright. Boleh baca panjang tu, malas aku tunjuk. Ada link di bawah tu. Okay, next. Thank you. Alright. Again, when we want to design our online learning or whatever it is, always refer to this kind of learning. Okay? By Professor Edgar. That's why active learning here is very important. Why? Because of the student able to remember up to 90% of the whole content that we have conducted or that we have delivered to them. Okay? So forget about ask them to read, ask them to hear, ask them to see, ask them to involve. Okay? And I can suggest here the very simple activity that I believe that student will remember everything, which is we call it peer teaching. Okay, I give a very simple analogy on this. Okay, minggu lepas sudah share sekali lagi lah, dapat. Alright, so what is peer teaching? Imagine kita besok mengajar, okay, subjek baru ni, kursus baru. Apa jadi malam ni? Kau tidur ke tidak? Hara kau mau kasih siap slide, mau baca buku teks lagi. Okay, besok bangun mata bekak-bekak. Okay, kena tanya kenapa? Tengok bola bah. Padahal dia kasih siap slide. Okay, alright. Why? Because in order for us to deliver the content, we need to understand it. Kalau kita tidak faham, macam mana kita mau ajar? Lagilah tunggang terbalik di pelajar kita. Alright, so the same thing happen to student. If we ask them to teach their friend, go in front and teach the content in front of their friends. Kau ingat dorang tidur ke tidak? They will try to do the best to prepare the slide or to prepare the content. They try to understand by themselves first. Dan baru lepas tu dia akan try to explain it to you, to their friends. That's we call it peer teaching. Okay, sesuai. Tapi bukan setiap hari lah. Jadi kau nak mengajar lah tu, senang kerja kau nanti. Everything is peer teaching, everything is peer teaching, no. Alright, so make sure that there is certain activity that we need to conduct this. For example, a certain content that requires students to understand it very quickly. In just one day, everything can be covered. So ask students to teach their friend. Okay, for more systematic, I will share for the next one. Okay, but ada banyak masa lagi next year. Alright, next, thank you. Alright, again, this is also important. To avoid what we call it cognitive load, bebanan pemikiran kita sebagai pelajar dan juga sebagai pengajar. Cognitive load. There is a four ataupun what we call it hello, okay. Ataupun we call it segment. If the content Okay, that's we call it prioritizing your content for teaching and learning activity. If the content is important but not critical, you can plan it. Okay, decide when you want to do it. You can use the technology to transfer it. Okay. Kalau yang merah tu, sebab tu kalau merah. If it is important, the content is very important and critical, you must do it by yourself. Jangan bagi orang lain ajar. Because you are the content expert. You are the subject matter expert. In that course, if that is your course, please you teach by yourself. Do it by yourself. Okay? Jangan bagi orang lain. Because since you are the expert, your explanation much better than others. Okay? Tapi nombor 1 tu boleh bagi orang lain, tidak masalah, pun boleh. Alright. Oh, pergi yang nombor 3, critical but not urgent. Kau nak payah ajar lah, delegate. Kalau kau ada student master ke, PhD ke, postdoc ke, ask them to teach for that, representing you. Okay? Kalau dia critical but not urgent. Okay, for example, something which is fundamental, yang tidak berubah sampai kiamat pun. The concept, the fundamental, thermodynamic fundamental pun contohnya. Okay? You can ask somebody else to help you to teach. And you can go for other meeting, for example. Okay, especially those yang terlalu sibuk lah, other meeting. Okay, yang empat ni yang saya mau stress di sini lah. If it's not important, less important and not very urgent, okay, assign it as a self-learning. You can make MOOC here. You can make micro-credential here. And ask students to do learning by themselves. Kalau the content is sama saja, next year kau ajar pun, next semester pun sama saja, kenapa mau ajar lagi? Okay, convert it into MOOC, convert it into micro-credential. Make it as something that accessible anywhere, anytime. Okay, self-paced learning. Okay, banyak membantu dan kita pun dah penat mengajar. Okay, so this is how that you categorize your teaching learning activity. Okay, kalau boleh yang 3 dan 4 tu banyakkanlah, 3 4 tu, dan beban kita untuk mengajar memang akan kurang. Tapi kalau nombor 2 tu, jangan bagi orang lain ajar. You need to teach by yourself. Okay, next, thank you. For that reason, then I will share my experience on this. Kenapa yang 3 4 tu penting? Because that will basically help me a lot, especially on the content that basically is the fundamental already there, never change. Okay, throughout the time. So I've learned this under open learning. Okay, then I have this kind of certification. Okay, a badge. But as you know, open learning is very good platform. Okay, user friendly, but too expensive. Okay, 1 year about. I need to pay a month about 100 per month. Okay, that's only one. Okay, kalau UMS, UMS ada, there is a problem with the open learning, so sebab ni online, dah boleh cerita, bahaya. Okay, it's a very good, excellent platform, but it's too expensive. But we have Moodle. We can convert it into Moodle, very easy. I will show you my experience kalau sempat lah ini hari. Okay, next. You need to have your knowledge first. Something like this. This year, sebab tu saya dapat tadi. Itu last year punya. This year, saya baru dapat. Okay. In this case, basically they train us how to do this kind of self-learning using Moodle. Okay. It's what have been done using open learning. Masa sudah kah cikgu? Belum. Okay. As open learning, then we need to convert into Moodle because it's basically has been practiced throughout all the universities in Malaysia, and it's very cheap compared to the open learning. Okay, you can import from other. Is what mana sudah Cik Amin tu. You can import whatever the outside apps masuk dalam Moodle, tidak masalah. Okay, I usually import Mentimeter in my LMS, especially on those yang very simple cloud punya tu survey. okay, or just very simple survey guna apa scale, alright. And then next, thank you. Ini bukan mau menayang apa, but this is basically achievement this year lah, starting from bukan I think second semester. I studied second semester. Okay, and more on the e-learning, more on the blended learning. Okay, ini untuk ISL. Okay, student engagement experience in blended cooperative learning environment. Okay, blended. Okay, next. Sama juga, tapi in this case I use micro credential. I just stress here, I want to highlight that in my teaching and learning activity, I use micro credential, which basically I use using open learning. And menang pula tu, dapat the best. Okay, special award, the best micro credential for science and technology. Okay, sambil dapat emas. Kalau emas ni boleh dijual, kaya sudah aku. Okay, this is under Econ-Dev. I would like also to encourage you to participate to this, to participate in the future on this. Okay, especially if you have something like MOOC, something like micro credential. Okay, because this semua ni dalam ni Econ-Dev di sinilah semua pakar-pakar micro credential, pakar-pakar MOOC show or present dia punya innovation in teaching and learning, especially on the blended online learning. Right, next. Yang ini the second highest award under MOHI. Okay, of course yang paling tinggi adalah Anugerah Akademi Negara. Sudah buka siapa berminat, please consult Dr. Amir. Okay, kalau mau memohon sebagai ataupun calon untuk Anugerah Akademi Negara tahun ke-15 tahun depan sudah buka. Okay, 2 bulan saja dibuka. Okay, this is actually again on the immersive blended learning. Okay, by the way saya baru setahun lebih di sini. Alright, next. Another one. Ini saya tunjuk yang international saja. This is the I think the iPictel. Again on the immersive blended learning juga. So it's not possible. It's not impossible that that we can achieve all of this. Tapi yang penting, try first, practice first. Again, based on a certain fundamental. In this case, it's pedagogy, the right pedagogy framework. If you want to use technology, so what should be the best fundamental of pedagogy that use the technology? We have TPEC. Always use TPEC. All of this basically is based on TPEC. Okay, it's all based on TPEC. And after that, please make use of Moodle. Okay, yang baru lagi canggih. Walaupun aku belum pernah pakai lagi, but for me that is the best that we can provide, or the UMS can provide to you. Just make use of it. Anda tahu kita ada pakar, tarik dia. Apa guna dia jadi penyelaras dia? Panggil dia datang. Alright. And in terms of practical, I can share my experience with you. Di mana kita perlu buat activity, di mana kita perlu buat engagement, and how that we prove the engagement. Sepatutnya saya mau tunjuk lepas ni, saya punya Smart V3. Macam mana saya punya student sekarang, setiap seorang sudah ada lebih, almost 300 hits. In average 200 hits. Okay. Belum habis semester ni, tapi hits setiap seorang sudah lebih 200. So how that I can get that kind of amount of hits? Okay, everyone, not only a group of student, but almost everyone. Okay, dia adalah dia punya tip and trick dia. Dan juga apa lagi ya? Okay, again, another basically saya bercadang kalau boleh lah. Yang sharing hari ini kalau boleh, kalau ada ramai admin yang datang lagi bagus, because the PTG will help us. Okay, sebab tu tengok, hilang sudah dekan-dekan. Padahal kalau dekan-dekan tahu lagi senang. They will support this 100%. Especially those who are very busy. Okay, macam tadi saya mention earlier part tadi, we have a lot of meeting, so make sure that you design it first. That's why planning is important. Tapi kena ada ilmu dulu. Okay, bukannya terus bertukar kepada PTG if you are not categorized as an active online learning. Make sure that your online learning tu kena aktif dulu. Okay, there is a system to calculate that, but for me it's very easy. You just look at the hits, the number of hits of a student. Okay, per semester kena minimum 24 hits per student. That is minimum 24 hits. Maksudnya kita ada 14 minggu kan? So seminggu kita allow student minimum masuk kita punya LMS 2 kali seminggu. Minimum, jadi 24. Okay, that's, if you get that, the average of 24 and above, then your LMS categorized as an active LMI, active online learning. Okay, active ataupun kita panggil active blended learning. Okay, Nabi tengok aku punya lah 200 sudah. Okay, 200 sudah. Okay, that mean that all activity should be conducted through online. Sebelum kita tukar 100% kepada online. Sebab tu PTG is important for us. Kita mau 30% online. So make sure that you have experienced this active online learning first. What should activity? Bukannya, Encik Amin cakap tadi, bukannya kamu letak slide di situ, main ampai saja. It's like you give the lecture notes, masuk kelas, kau ampai di atas meja, dan kau keluar. Without anything, without any instruction. Thus we call it self-instructional material or module. You need to learn this first. If you want to implement PTG, make sure that you go to this training, self-instructional module ataupun material. Okay, Prof, you can conduct that. Find the expert. I'm not expert in that, but I know how to do that. And for the sharing experience, I know how to do that. But it needs to come from the people who are very expert in this sim. That for me is the compulsory training that we need to attend. Otherwise akan jadi macam tadi lah. Kau masuk dalam LMS, main ampai saja PDF. No instruction at all. Student tengok pun, mau buat apa ni? Okay, that's why your hit is very low there. Okay, you need to have a clear instruction, self-explain ataupun self-instructional. Di situ macam kita masuk kelas, okay, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum. So today we're going to have this. So make sure that you download your slide first, and after that come up with a certain summary and submit it after this. So sama juga dalam LMS, tulislah macam tu. Kau malas tulis, kau record lah kau punya voice pun boleh. Lagi rajin buat video. Kalau TikTok boleh buat, hendakkan video tu anda boleh buat. Okay, alright. So something like that. That's we call it SIM, self-instructional material ataupun media. For me, Prof, if before we allow a lecturer to implement PTG, make sure that they attend this SIM first. Otherwise, akan jadi macam tadi lah, main ampai saja. This is based on my experience. Okay, that's why I have attended these two course design online. Okay, from online learning as well as from KPT. So I also encourage you to attend this. Very, very helpful. It's a free. Kecuali yang online learning pun, open learning pun free juga. Lepas tu dia pandai pujuk lah kamu untuk subscribe. Pandailah kau lari untuk hidup. Okay, ada lagi tak? Tengok slide, ada lagi tak? Oh, habis dah? Okay, itu saja perkongsian saya pada pagi ini. So hopefully that akan mendapat manfaat kepada kita semua. Okay, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello. Okay, thank you, Associate Professor Technologies, Dr. Muhammad Kamaruddin bin Abdul Hamid. Okay, as the saying goes, to every beginning there is an ending. But before we end our event, any of the participants or audience would like to have any questions to the three panelists that we have today? No questions? Yeah, we have one.
to understand and to operate this ITEL. But are we doing for the students as well? Because I know this engagement needs lecturers and students. Because me personally, because my experience in my previous university during undergraduate, that's the exact things happen. We call it smart learning all the time, and we have this, this distance learning between lecturers and students. I don't even have a lecturer at one class. It's all online, but the problem is some of the students, they didn't really know how to use this online tool for learning. And for me, example, I'm not only using the Smart Tree, I use Google Classroom, connect with Wakelet for interactive learning. But still, students could not understand the simple math for Google Classroom and Wakelet. But it's just as easy as TikTok. So I'm asking if we have like a roadshow for students, for them to really comprehend the operations behind this ITEL, so that lecturer will have this, a two-way understanding, so that it's easy for us to deliver this method to the students. Thank you.
From your experience, what is your recommendation and suggestion?
I would say if we have not only online course, not only online Bengkel or workshop for students, but also physical contact with students, and let them demonstrate that we can see if it's easier for them to use. Yeah, that's for my personal experience. I even conduct a private class for them to understand Wakelet, and it's easier for me to use that as assessment. Yeah, part of my assessment is actually they have to post reflection journals on Wakelet. So that's what we do. That's what I do lah personally. So I think if we can do this kind of engagement with students, it's easier for us to implement ITEL. Also Smart 3 UMS as well. Because sometimes not only we are dumping the lecture notes, students also, they just download the lecture notes. And they don't even, if we post forum, only 1 or 2 students will reply. We tell them exactly, you have to reply to forum. It's like active engagement online. You don't have to be specifically in classes. You can be everywhere. But then still, some students find it difficult to, to just reply on the forum, maybe because of they don't really understand how the system works, or maybe they don't have time, I'm not sure. But this kind of roadshow for students, I think, is very important, not only for lecturers. That's just one of my opinion. So my question was if we have like frequent roadshows for students, not only for lecturers. Okay, that's all from me. Oh, my name is Wahida and I'm from IPMB. FSSA actually, I'm teaching aquaculture. All right, thank you very much.
Actually, thank you for the questions. Usually when we go to roadshow, we emphasize on lecturers, but upon request, we do have a training with students. Last year, I think FSSA invite us to do a training with the students. Also, I think FKJ and FSSA. So it is upon request. If you feel that your faculty, your students need to be trained, just ask, contact your e-learning coordinator, and then they will get a,
sometimes kita pun tak sempat nak request. It's actually for the students' effort themselves to learn this system. Macam kami dulu, my previous university, even attendance, we call it macam small remote. We bring it everywhere. Every time we just click. No need to scan QR code. It's directly connected to the system. That's what happened in my previous university. But then nowadays students nak scan QR code pun semua bawah. But then we have smart hadir kan, so maybe frequent engagement with students for them to really understand the system before we fully operate this ITEL
okay. It's a good suggestion, but because we in PEP, we only have 3 of us, three of us. So that's why that is upon request. But if because we have roadshow with the faculties for the lecturers, maybe we can do what we can do is after that we have a session with students. So that way the students can engage with us and then ask questions. And usually it's very interactive. I enjoy my session with the students because they ask many questions and then they don't know the function of message. Usually I will try, all the activity will be hands-on with the student training, because if you just give lecture to them, they will diam-diam saja. But the activity is they have to message me, they have to answer the quiz and everything. So if it's urgent, you can ask for us to book a time. So we can purposely for your faculty, for the students, we can give. Usually for the first years, like FSSA last time, because they will have exam, online exam. So we do the training how to use the smart tree and then how to do the online exam. Okay, thank you, Dr. Wahida.
Let me add. Boleh Prof. Okay. Please contact your faculty coordinator. Okay. First, and after that, if your faculty coordinator cannot help, ataupun dia kurang pakar, kurang pengalaman, then PEP will help, because we have more than 20 coordinators. Okay, coordinator, selama ni kita kerja kan? Nah, inilah kerja kita. Okay, we'll go to roadshow to every faculties after this. Okay, all right. So prepare yourself. Okay, I would like to share. Tadi dah sempat, sekarang saya minta a few minutes for me to share my Smart V3. All right. So this is the one that this semester. Okay, this is a hands-on MATLAB engineering programming for students. Okay, boleh scroll down sikit-sikit. Okay, ini macam Encik Amin dah, dia suka guna label. So saya pun suka guna label. Okay, itu siapa tu? Biarlah dia. Turun bawah. Highlight sikit-sikit. Promote, bukan jual diri ya. Alright. All the course analysis ada dalam tu. Okay, the learning outcome, everything, the activity should be there. Lagi turun. So this is this is the assessment, ada juga di situ. Okay, turun. Thank you. And there is one platform for them to ask the questions. Turun. Okay, this is the activity, the class. Turun lagi. The ice breaking. Since it's first year, first semester, so ice breaking is important. Turun bawah. Dan saya buat ice breaking guna Menti. Turun. And that's how they present themselves. Guna Menti. Okay, menti.com, Mentimeter. Lagi, very simple. So this is, I use cooperative learning. Therefore, you need to have a team, not group, team. Okay, because it's cooperative. So the team should be started from the first day until the end of semester. That's why we call it cooperative team. Turun lagi, kita decide sendiri ya. Alright, lagi. So there is a team logo, gallery walk. Gambar dalam Facebook ada gambarnya. Turun bawah. Alright, I would like to share this. This is very important. Dah sempat tadi cerita ni. Okay, PKA pun mau saya share ni juga lah. Tapi nantilah we will have another one. Very, this kind of sharing. Index of learning style. This is very important. Daripada kita kenal pelajar berdasarkan dia punya academic background. Okay, based on the academic background, make sure we know the learning style of our student. Okay, this is very simple. There is already have a survey and it will calculate and give the index. Very simple. Turun bawah. Okay. Okay, ini Muhammad ni dia punya learning style. Okay, that is example. So I would like our student to come up with that also. So you can use this. Okay, the QR ada bawah. Sorry, naik atas sekejap. This is based on Professor Felder. Richard Felder is basically a chemical engineering lecturer. So my guru, beberapa kali sudah jumpa. So that's why most of my teaching learning activity basically based on whatever that have been conducted by Professor Felder. Okay, turun bawah. Okay, I ask them to submit. Turun bawah. Mana di mana orang submit tu? Aku ingat. Lagi. Okay, another short survey, what is engineering? They just give their opinion. Oh, nampak lah. It's okay. Alright, so very simple. Okay, you can use this one, very simple kind of, ataupun sebelum masuk kelas, ask them to do this kind of survey. Very, guna cloud, very simple, cloud words. Very simple. Yeah. Only the one that, for me, assess through PLO and CLO, that's all. All this activity, you can grade it, but you can assess it, but not grade. Of course. If it's not related to your CLO and PLO, no need for you to assess. Okay? But you can assess as one activity. If you want people or students to participate, you can assess it, but not grade it. Okay, let me show you after this. Turun bawah lagi. There is another assignment that basically that I will grade. Turun bawah. Contoh. Okay, this is the one that I use surface learning from other source, from MATLAB. Tak payah fikir-fikir mau buat. Kalau ada di luar, masukkan dalam. Okay, turun. Then I ask them to go by themselves, learn. Okay, self-learning, and after that do certain activity. Simple, turun bawah lagi. Banyak lagi ni. Ini banyak lagi di bawah tu. Alright, ini semua daripada MATLAB je. Tak payah pening-pening mau bikin kalau sudah ada di luar. Alright, turun. In order to make sure that they have gone through this, I ask them to screenshot 50% progress, 100% progress. Okay, turun bawah. So they need to submit. Okay, so ini untuk 50%, 100%. Ini will be graded. Sudah grade pun. Alright, okay, stop, cukuplah. And next, I will show you the hits. Dalam report. Tanya Encik Amin, Encik Amin tahu. Di siring tu ada tu. Tengok number of kids, ada 300, ada 120, 255. This guy, dia sakit. Dia Nelson, sebab dia hits sikit saja. Okay? So if you have a lot of activity in your student will go. Daripada kamu main umpire saja. Okay? Alright. Ini tengah berlangsung ah. Okay, ada next question? Aku pula jadi. Eugenia, kau punya tugas.
Okay, do we have any more questions from the audience? Yes.
Mau tanya Puan Salmi, kalau kita buat MOOC untuk subjek tu, adakah dia macam shortcut boleh PTG tu? Contohnya subjek saya ni ada certain topik saya akan pilih untuk sebagai MOOC. So adakah dia macam boleh shortcut support PTG?
Dia. Sebenarnya dia vice versa. Dia boleh di PTG kan, even yang kita punya yang macam Dr. Kamarudin share dalam kita punya pengajaran dalam Smart UMS tu pun boleh di MOOC kan. So actually satu kursus tu kita boleh guna untuk PTG, kita boleh guna untuk MOOC, boleh untuk MC. Yeah, you just follow the criteria. Sebab MOOC actually sekarang ni dia ada macam 7 syarat-syarat dia, you have to follow. But you can still use it for micro credential. Micro credential dia mesti ada follow macam dia even shorter daripada MOOC. Usually my MC is 1 CLO, dia macam ada 4-5 saja macam tu. So dia boleh satu MC tu lebih kepada komersial nanti. MOOC ni end of the day is for sekarang ni kita buat dalaman, dia boleh transfer kredit. So it begins with your smatri sebenarnya, your courses dalam smatri. You can transform to MOOC, to MC and to PTG.
So nanti yang akan datang, PTS tu still valid kah ataupun semua?
Oh, dia masih bersama. Because we know that there are certain courses yang kita tidak boleh PTG kan. So but they're still blended, so blended as PTS. Memang kita akan bagi kekecualian tu, macam yang profesional, dia memang ada syarat-syarat untuk FKJ saya rasa dengan perubatan. Memang kita akan bagi exemption.
Okay, saya tambah sikit. So for me, as I mentioned tadi pun dalam slide tadi, if that is, the content is basically, what they call it, di sana, dah berubah. Okay, sampai bumi ni bergegar ke kiamat kan dah berubah, that fundamental. So kalau boleh, convert it into self-paced. You can make it as a MC, you can make it as a MOOC. MOOC, okay, terpulang. Okay, kalau kau rajin bagi semua, lagi bagus. And that basically help PTG. Because that's MOOC, the MC is already online. And it's already satisfying the SIM. Dalam tu kena pakai SIM dulu, Serve Instructional Module ataupun Method. Baru kita boleh pakai MOOC ataupun MC. And because it's self-instructed, all the instructions there, activity ada di situ, assessment ada di situ. So it's also representing PTG indirectly. The only thing that once you use the Itel in the future, next semester, you just link with your MOOC, link with your PTG, with your MC, for example, and the rest is just the activity yang macam biasa. For example lah, kau ada satu, you have, sorry lah, sabar kan, biasalah kau. Okay, you have a 1 month, for example, 1 month content ataupun topik, ada 2 topik yang basically, traditionally you done it, okay, by giving lecture you can finish it within 1 month. Ada 2 topik. Topik tu memang akan berubah sampai bila-bila pun. If you convert it into MC, for example, or if you convert it into MOOC, for example, you basically save 1 SLT. Save sudah tu. Sebab MOOC dengan MC tu memang kriteria ada dalam PTG. It's already there. You have a certain activity, you have the assessment, you have the instructional there. Okay? Sebab tu kalau boleh banyakkanlah. Sebab tu MOOC sekarang ni, MC ni sekarang ni, New Zealand memang laju. They want to take this advantage of the PTG. Okay? Of course, another point of view ataupun another objective for the MC is basically to get money. Okay? Basically that we offer this to outsiders such that they take that MC and they pay for us. Of course, that is the main. Tapi it's also, we can use that to help PTG. Okay? Tak payah kita buat pun macam saya tunjuk tadi. Saya tak pakai pun, saya nak buat pun, saya ambil yang MATLAB. Yang dah ada. Tapi make sure it's free. Okay, we don't pay for that. Tapi kalau kita mau buat MC, kita mau offer kepada orang lain, they need to pay for us, and we can offer is free for our student. Student jangan charge ah. Okay, boleh clear? Thank you.
Okay, we would like to have one last question. Any more? Okay. All right. Don't forget to get the attendance in the QR form, Google form, because we will have a certificate for all the attendees for this symposium today. Okay? So don't forget again to get your attendance taken. Once you've taken your attendance, then you will get a certificate from us on attending this symposium. Thank you very much, everyone.